So, how good is the ShotScope V3? Let's find out, shall we? Hi guys, Lewis here. Welcome back to channel Golf Days. We are going to do a little on-field test review, my opinion, on the ShotScope V3 watch GPS and tracking tags. I've waited a few weeks to get a few more rounds under my belt before I gave it an honest review. There's lots of devices around, I know, that do your tracking, but this is the ShotScope V3, my honest opinion, an average golfer opinion. So I hope you enjoy it. Right then guys, as I said, welcome back to the channel. This is my honest review of the ShotScope V3. It's a GPS watch and it has GPS tagging on your clubs as well. Basically the idea of it is just to record your stats, puts it all together and gives you an idea, and it will help improve your game. For example, just a quick one, I'll show you more in depth shortly, but from here, after I've hit my drive, I've got 104 yards to the middle of the green, 91 is the front, 118 to the back. As soon as I picked up my club, which has the little tag in it, it's saying I picked up my gap wedge. So it knows what club I'm doing, so I don't even need to get out a device, don't need to get my phone out. I know, you know, some devices you have to use your phone, you might have to get your phone out or whatnot. I don't need to do any of that. All I need to do is pick the club, look at my yardage, hit my shot. Simmer. Slightly off the bank, slightly left, but great club selection. And repair your divot. Right, so as we can see, I'm right next to the edge of the green. I don't really need to look at my watch, but just for argument's sake, let me just show you what I'm looking at right now. So what you can see there, it's just showing me I've just hit my gap wedge. That's why it's still the last club that I selected. So even though I'm not holding it anymore, because it was the last club, that's why it's still showing GW for gap wedge. So where I'm standing now with the camera, I'm 18 yards from the middle, 6 yards from the edge, 30 yards to the other side. And when I get close to my ball, it will obviously indicate what's closer. Now the great thing about this, as I showed there, with the yardage, is fantastic. You can look at your hazards as well. Now there isn't many hazards here, which is why it hasn't got show any. But you've got 4 buttons either side, and they all do a separate job. Now up here you can see that exclamation mark. That's to indicate on this button you can look for hazards. Now as I've just said, there is no hazards on this hole, but I'll show you it on another hole where there may be hazards. But just a quick look at what you can see on your watch. So you can see I'm not having to take a device out of my pocket, speed up the game. I don't even need to use my rangefinder anymore, my little laser, because I've got it all on my watch. It just says it here, nice and easy. Hit my shot. Keep going, keep going. Hit my shot, move on, focus on my shots, rather than worrying about keeping track and logging it in a phone or a device or whatever you may have. I don't need to worry about any of that. Another great thing about this watch is that you don't need to worry about changing the hole either. It indicates, it knows when you're on the next hole. So all I do, pick my club, grip and rip. Just want to add as well, I apologise for the lack of content. I've had a few weeks off, really busy, which meant I haven't had much filming done. So I apologise for that. So again, same thing again, shows my yardage. It shows me front of the green, back of the green, middle of the green. Also, I know there's a couple of bunkers up here. So if I was to press that exclamation mark at the top right, which I showed you previously, it will show me that, which is 182 yards away, and it's on the right hand side. It's also got a fantastic feature which they've recently brought in, is that if I was to lay up a certain yardage, it then tells me how far from that point I'll then have left to the green. So you can start working your way backward from the green and what clubs you're going to need to use. So that's a fantastic feature that they've just brought in. It's brilliant. So again, pick the club I want. It knows that I've got the hybrid in my hand. It then tells me my yardage. I work my yardage out. I have slight wind. That's one thing it's not going to tell me, is that it's windy. I got wind right into my face, so this is not flying anywhere. Slightly off balance there, I have to admit. That wind completely killed it. But we should be okay over there. Wind killed it, but we're all right. Now, I did say that I wanted to leave it a few weeks before I did this little honest opinion review on the course. I have done that, and I have to say, folks, this is probably the best bit of kit I've ever bought for golf. I've now got indication of my putting, my percentages from different feet off the green, well, to the pin, sorry. It shows me my yardages, what's my best approach play percentage. It shows my driving percentage, my fairways, greens in regulation. It shows all the stats that you really need. If you're going to do this seriously and you really want to improve your game, it shows you all the stats that's needed to do that. I can't fault this watch. I really can't. It's absolutely amazing. The fact that you get the tags as well. You don't even need to worry about getting a phone out your pocket. You just play your game, enjoy the game, not have to worry about marking your stats, because the watch does it for you. So I'm only going to show you a few shots here and there, because there's no need to see the whole round. I'm literally just going to show you key points that I think is worth knowing. You don't need to see every single shot that I hit. So for example here, little wedge shot in. It's already logged it that I've got a lob wedge in my hand. Just going to try and pop it up close. Simmer, simmer, simmer. That'll do from there. That'll do from there. Okay, so let's show you the putting side of things. Seeing as you've seen off the tee, approach play, it shows you all that kind of thing. Now, I'm going to show you what it shows you here. So again, it knows that I've picked up my putter. So there you can see, I've got my putter in my hand because it's got the P next to it. Now where it says pin collect, 1, 2, 3, on the other arrow, the bottom right, there's an arrow, you can click 4. So you can only have a maximum of 4 putts, which is not a bad thing. But what you're doing, as soon as you pick your putter and putt, it knows from what distance you're putting from. And then what you need to do, once you've taken your putt, so, oh, give me that. Well, give me that. What you got to do then is stand over the pin, wherever that pin situation is, the location. And on that instance, it was 2 putt. So where it had that 1, 2, 3, which I just showed you, I click the 2 button. It records that. It records that whole hole. And then it also knows and recorded where that pin was on that day. So that it gives you that yardage again from where that pin location was. So again, another easy thing to know. So let me just show you this. We're on the 4th hole now. It's now saying it's 272 yards to the middle. Now I know there's hazards on here, so let me show you that on here. So you can see here now, it's showing me it's 277 yards to the middle, 266 front, 291 to the back, 7 iron in hand, 'cause that's what I've got. If I press the exclamation mark, it shows you the layout feature that is very new to this software update. What you've got here is 179 yards. If I hit 179 yards off the tee, it's telling me I'll have only 100 yards left to the pin, which then means you can start working out what clubs you're going to be using before you get that far. It's a great new update that they've done. Also, if I press the top right button again, arrow, it'll then show me my hazards. So again, there's a bunker on the left-hand side. It's 189 yards away. If I want to clear it, we're looking at 196. So all the information is there to make sure you know exactly what you're doing, what club you're hitting, so you can play your best golf without having to worry about it. Slightly tugged that to the right. So we are starting to lose the light. So I do apologise if the video quality starts to degrade. How posh did that sound? I apologise if the quality of video starts to go downhill. It is now getting a bit darker, so we might have to finish up this review shortly. But I think this gives you a kind of idea of what the watch is all about and how useful it can be. Right, so from here, 62 yards to the middle. I'm thinking the wind is going to hold it up. Pulled it slightly left. but it's still on the green. Great yardage once again from the watch. So we're on the green. Trying to get this in now. From here. Notice I've got my putter in my hand. I don't need to worry about anything. I'm just playing my game. Let the watch do all the work. Got the tags inside my club, on top of my club, screwed in. I can just putt, get in. Oi! I can just putt, enjoy my game. That was a 2-putt. Click the 2 button, recorded that hole, and that's it. Don't need to worry about it anymore. Right, folks, well, I think the light is now starting to leave us, so I think we're running out of time. I hope that gives you a good idea of what the ShotScope V3 is all about. I tell you what, I have to say I do love it, and I have to say it's probably the best bit of kit that I've ever bought when it comes to golf. It's just so easy. I've used other devices in the past where you've got to tag it on a device, but then you've still got to remember to tag it, otherwise you won't remember it. It won't keep your track of your scores. Other ones where you have to take your phone out and track it on your phone, but then that slows you down. Rangefinder, you have to get a rangefinder out and you have to then obviously zap your location, which is great, you can still use that. But the fact that this can speed up your game, take one of the other stresses out of your game away by not having to worry about keeping score, because it's going to do it for you. Then once you've finished your round, it's very simple on the phone or the device or whatever you want to use. It's an app that has a companion app. All you've got to do is then connect the two together, which just takes about 5 seconds, upload, sync, job done. You can then look for all your stats from all those holes that you might have played today or that round you played that day. You can then obviously tweak things if there needs to be things that need to be tweaking. But overall, there's not much you need to do. You just need to proofread it, I guess, and then you can then save it, and it will add to all your stats and tells you all your statistics, your averages with your yardages, tells you your percentages to approach the green, your percentages from how far from the pin you are, and it shows you what your chances of making that putt is as well. So all that data is there, stored in this watch. You've got that freedom just to enjoy the game. I hope this review, or my personal opinion on it, was insightful, helped you guys. If it did, great, let me know, but down below, maybe give it a thumbs up. If there's something more you want to know, just drop a comment down below and I'll be able to answer it for you. But from my experience with it in the last few weeks using it, it's been absolutely brilliant, and honestly, it's the best money I think I've ever spent. It's sub 200 quid. I mean, to get that 200 quid with your little tags that go on your club is absolutely amazing. Guys, again, let me know what you think. If there's anything else you want to know, please feel free to let me know. I'm here to help. I'm here to chat with you guys, a community. That's what we're here for. So we're going to leave it there, folks. If you've liked the content, you know what you need to do. Thanks very much for watching. Unless it's golf, keep looking up.